Hey, what's happening, YouTube community? Richard Jordan Jr. here, and this is the continuation of my story. I've decided to name my imaginary character George. Now, reflecting back to when George met these extraterrestrials, he wondered why him. Upon the discovery through research, George discovered that he is not the first person to have been abducted, nor the first person to have seen gray extraterrestrials. Though he may be the first to have a well-documented official government case of having made contact and continued dialogue, of which I will elaborate as my fictional story continues. You see, through personal research at the onset, George learned that many people in all walks of life have had similar encounters. In that respect, it is not necessarily an uncommon event. However, through careful contemplation and having an interest in psychology and human behavioral science, it became clear through his actions or behavior that a need existed. George's intense focus on the subject matter of his artwork and his need for reaching towards someone greatly increased the probability of attracting a loving form of life. As the author of this story, I recently learned that it is true with any successful relationship that there must be a need, in however form it is. I needed to be loved and to know that I am not alone, George understood. During the course of George's research, he learned that on one side of his family's ancestry, both his grandparents on that side is dated to the early 1600s. Having arrived on the shores of Massachusetts and Virginia before the formation of our God-loving nation. He is honored to learn that his grandmother's ancestor is one of the signers of the U.S. Constitution, and that gave him a sense of duty and responsibility to contribute in some fashion for the advancement for all of humanity. These discoveries made George think that maybe the ongoing communication is part of being someone that will be equipped to reach an intended audience, to reach important world leaders. You know, thoughts are important. It is also important to be aware of true thoughts, George learned. One day, George was at a red light. When the light turned green, the vehicle in front of him inched ever so slowly, and George was slightly upset as he was in a hurry. The very next day, George picked up a cake from the store, and at that exact red light, as it turned green, he inched around the corner ever so slowly so as to not tip the cake. At that moment, he realized that the vehicle in front of him the day before may have been carrying precious cargo. With this realization, moving forward, gaining knowledge and applying wisdom, we grow and mature in true thought. If this situation presents itself again, I am better prepared to remain in true thought, a true thought state of mind. George understood that he is becoming an accurate observer.